Most people believe money moves loudly. They think wealth announces itself with headlines, trends, and sudden hype. They believe opportunity arrives with noise, viral stories, breaking news, dramatic booms. But the truth is far more unsettling. Smart money never moves in public. It moves quietly, and by the time everyone notices, it has already left. Today's story is not about luck. It's not about secret information. And it's definitely not about chasing trends. It's about how wealth consistently moves ahead of the crowd, and why most people only realize it when the opportunity is already gone. The first lie is simple. If something is important, I'll hear about it in time. History proves the opposite. By the time the public hears about an opportunity, smart money has already positioned, accumulated, and prepared to exit. Because wealth is not built by reacting. It is built by anticipation. Let's go back to 2008. To the average person, everything seemed normal. Homes were rising in value. Banks were trusted. Credit was easy. But behind the scenes, something else was happening. Large institutional investors, hedge funds, private equity firms, sophisticated investors noticed early warning signs: mortgage quality deteriorating, leverage stacking too high, risk being misunderstood. One of them was Michael Burry. He wasn't famous at the time. He wasn't loud. He didn't go on TV, but he studied the structure, not the story. While the world celebrated housing wealth, he quietly placed bets against the system. When the crash came, the public panicked. Smart money didn't panic. It had already moved. Smart money doesn't rely on predictions. It relies on patterns. Patterns like excess optimism, easy leverage, herd behavior, emotional decision-making. The average person asks, "What's happening now?" Smart money asks, "What must happen next if this continues?" That difference changes everything. Every wealth shift has a phase no one notices. It's called accumulation. This is when assets look boring, prices feel uncomfortable, headlines are negative, confidence is low. This is where smart money moves in, not because it feels good, but because it feels inevitable. In early 2020, panic spread faster than any virus. Markets crashed, businesses closed. Fear dominated every conversation. Most people froze. But again, behind the scenes, something familiar happened. Smart money didn't ask, "Is this scary?" It asked, "What will the world need after this?" And the answer was clear. Technology, digital infrastructure, remote work, logistics platforms. While the public waited for safety, smart money positioned for recovery. By the time confidence returned, the biggest gains were already locked in. Here's a critical lesson. News is what already happened. Signal is what's forming quietly underneath. Smart money ignores noise and watches. Capital flows, policy shifts, incentives, structural changes. The public reacts to headlines. Smart money watches direction. Let's talk about Ethan. Ethan wasn't an investor. He wasn't a trader. He didn't come from money. For most of his life, Ethan worked as a mid-level operations manager in a logistics company, the kind of job no one writes headlines about. He wasn't poor, but he wasn't free either. What made Ethan different wasn't his position. It was his attention. While others focused on job security, Ethan watched how the world moved beneath the surface, and that habit would change everything. When 2020 arrived, fear was everywhere. People watched the news obsessively. Markets collapsed. Businesses shut down overnight. Inside Ethan's company, panic spread. Hiring freezes, budget cuts. Layoff rumors, but something felt off, not better, not safe, just different. Ethan noticed that while demand collapsed in some areas, it exploded in others. Warehouses were overwhelmed. Delivery times stretched, digital ordering surged, infrastructure strained under pressure. The headlines screamed collapse. But the system was quietly rewiring itself. And Ethan understood something critical. This isn't destruction, this is acceleration. Most people ask during a crisis, how bad will this get? Smart money asks, what becomes essential after this? Ethan began tracking signals most people ignored. Where governments were spending money, which industries were hiring quietly. What behaviors became permanent, not temporary. He noticed capital didn't stop moving. It changed direction, and capital always moves first. Ethan didn't panic buy stocks. He didn't chase rebounds. He didn't wait for certainty. Instead, he did something far more powerful. He repositioned his skills and attention. He learned systems. He studied supply chains. He focused on automation, data flow, efficiency. While others waited for normal to return, Ethan prepared for a world where it wouldn't. Smart money wasn't just investing in companies, it was investing in capabilities. There's a competition happening that most people never notice. Not between companies, not between investors, between those who adapt early and those who wait for permission. Ethan watched colleagues refuse to learn new tools, dismiss change as temporary, assume stability would return. He didn't judge them, but he didn't follow them either. Because smart money never moves with the crowd. It moves before the crowd realizes it must. Being early is uncomfortable. You look wrong. You feel alone. There's no validation. Most people don't fear risk. They fear being early and isolated. Ethan accepted that discomfort. He understood something most people don't. The reward isn't for being right. It's for being early and patient. Smart money doesn't need applause. It needs alignment with reality. Over time, Ethan's choices compounded, not explosively, not dramatically, quietly. He didn't just earn more. He gained optionality. He could choose projects. He could negotiate. He could walk away. That's what smart money ultimately buys. Control over decisions, not luxury, not status, freedom of movement. Today, we are watching the same pattern repeat with AI. Most people ask, will AI take jobs? Smart money asks, where will leverage concentrate? Ethan didn't try to predict outcomes. He prepared for direction. AI didn't replace people. It amplified those who positioned early, just like every shift before it. History is painfully consistent. People notice change when their income is threatened, their skills feel outdated, their comfort disappears. By then, smart money has already learned built. Positioned compounded wealth doesn't disappear. It moves, and it moves early. Smart money follows one rule. Move when it's quiet, not when it's obvious. Obvious is expensive. Quiet is misunderstood. And misunderstood is where opportunity lives. You don't need capital to think like smart money. You need curiosity instead of fear, preparation instead of prediction, long-term focus instead of urgency. Ask yourself, what is quietly changing? Where is attention shifting? What skills, assets, or systems will matter next? That's where smart money is already looking. Ethan didn't become rich overnight, but when the next wave of change arrived, he wasn't scrambling. He was calm. Because calm is the reward of preparation, and preparation is the real advantage. By the time everyone notices, the move is already over. But if you learn to watch quietly, prepare early, and move before permission appears, you stop chasing money, and instead, you position yourself where money naturally flows next. Subscribe if you want to understand how wealth actually moves, before everyone notices. This channel is for those who think early, move calmly, and prepare before it becomes obvious.